Hi everybody and welcome to our Global Snapshot for the month of May. First of all, allow me to thank you very much for being with us. This last few months been, quite honestly, been very encouraging because we can see a lot of the good fruit and a lot of positive feedback, not just from you, but also we can see the results of the operations that some of them we worked on it for years and years. For example, right now, as we're looking at the Middle East and we can see that ISIS is getting defeated in their territories, in their areas. Now, let's make it clear. Defeating of ISIS cannot be just through the territory, through the ideology that they are advocating and the ideology that they believe in. So when we're talking about the defeat of ISIS, we're only talking about the defeat of ISIS in territories-wise. But obviously, we can see that there is more liberation to these areas, to this territory. We still can see that there is a lot of damages happening to the civilians, a lot of damages happening to the minorities there. And that's where I want to announce that, God willing, in August, we will have the biggest humanitarian aid operation in the history of One Free World International to land in Iraq, to touch not just the minorities, not just the Yazidis and the Christians and many minorities, but also the civilians that have been affected by this final operations against ISIS. Now, when we're talking about ISIS and the extremist group, doesn't matter who they are, we're talking about the damages that they can do, not just in one area, not just in one country, but also can reach many of the countries and can attack many of the minorities around the world. And this last Easter, now we both know that the season attack on Christians, usually Christmas or Easter, and this last Easter, we can see the horrible attack on the churches in Sri Lanka. But was not only Sri Lanka, it was also Burkina Faso. And what also some of the churches in Nigeria, was also some of the churches and some of the areas in Pakistan. But the media didn't report on a lot of them, maybe just one, which is Sri Lanka. And we have here video, we have a clip from our members in Sri Lanka that sent it to us to share it with you and in order to show you the reality on the ground, how the believers is fighting, how the believers taking risk by just going to the church in Easter Day. As much as we want to make it clear that the attacks on any minorities, the attacks on any religious groups is a crime and we will not accept any of them, we quite honestly see how there's no big international action to the attacks that happened recently in Sri Lanka and Burkina Faso and in other countries around the world. And also we of course remember that the attack that happened in the last day in Passover on the Jewish synagogue in the United States. We pray for the victims. We pray for the people that suffer, the people that they are in pain. It wasn't that long time ago when we saw the attack in New Zealand on a Muslim mosque. And doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter what color you are, doesn't matter what belief you have. Any attack on a religious group, any attacks on innocent people that they are worshiping in their worship place, if it's a synagogue or a mosque or a church, is a crime that we all have to stand united and to fight it with every way possible. One of the close stories to my heart is the story of Nafisa. And many of you maybe saw the pictures, but none of you talked to her one-on-one on the phone as I did. Nafisa is a young lady, a mother of 3. And this woman had a career in Afghanistan, educated, working in a hospital. That's when a man came and wanted to sleep with her by force. And when she refused to leave her family, when she refused to leave her kids, this man, very powerful man in Afghanistan, very wealthy, he simply wanted to punish her. And he did punish her by sending somebody to throw acid on her face. And he did. And it did destroy her and did destroy her child, her daughter that was walking with her. They have to escape to Turkey for medical attention, but also to escape from him because he was determined to destroy all the family. This man that threw the acid never was arrested, was never put in injustice system, because he's powerful. His money, his power protected him. Me and you is the protector of Nafisa. Me and you will make sure that Nafisa will look every day in the mirror and will see a beautiful woman. She will not see the attack, but she will see the future. She will not see what's happened to the skin, but will see what's in her heart. And in her heart, outside and inside, in every way, she's still, in my eyes and in all of us eyes, a very beautiful woman. We need your support and we need your help. Now, many times I stood in front of you, and I know some of you is already tired from asking the help, and I know some of you is already tired from giving. But we cannot leave the situation in the Middle East as it is. We cannot leave the situation in Ukraine as it is. And I'm leaving to Ukraine in a few days in order to meet with the new administration, with a congressman from the United States, and in order to deal with the new administration and the war in Ukraine and how we can support this new administration. We will ask from you to stand with us. If it's the Middle East or the situation in Ukraine or a story, individual story like Nafisa. I know that every day we knock on your door, and we know every day we're asking your help and your prayers. And I know sometimes is a hard or burden in some of you, but together we are changing the world. Together we will not only spend the money or the prayer or the time or the effort to help these people, but I am one that I will even give them my life if I have to. As we always care about the international subjects and the international issues, I research my conscience, and I cannot, in a good conscience, I cannot only care about what's happening around the world and not to care about what's happening in our soil here in Canada. For that, we are inviting the leader of the opposition, Andrew Scheer, the leader of the Conservative Party, to speak with different community leaders, human rights community leaders, and to discuss with them his policy when it comes to the freedom of religion, when it comes to immigration and citizenship, foreign policy. This will be a conversation from the heart. We have more than 18 communities will come together in order to address and to talk to Andrew Scheer. They will ask, he will answer. Now, when you watch this video, I'm not trying to affect your opinion if you vote Liberal or vote Conservative or NDP or Green or whatever your political belief. But the most important that you vote. If you stop voting, if you don't vote, you lost your right to complain. I thank you for your partnership. I thank you for your true prayers, and you continue supporting us in every way. See you next month. Thank God.